Peace. I'm a hippie girl. I'm your hippie girl for the day, okay? Your generation, you guys ruin everything.
You better watch your mouth, young lady.
That was me at 16. I went to see the movie at the cinema, and I went to see Easy Rider. That was in 1969. I was 16 years old. Well, I got home. And my mom was laying in her bed. So I stood at the doorway of the bedroom, and I was pretty pissed off, you know. That movie kind of riled me up. And it was the times. And I was just leaning against the doorway, and I looked at her, and I said, your generation has really messed everything up. And she looked at me. She put her book down and looked at me. She says, you better watch your mouth, young lady. And I was like, whoa, okay, well, you know, and I went upstairs to my room. Yeah, those were the signs of the times. Easy Rider, you know. And the most famous line of that movie is, we blew it. Well, did we blow it? Did my parents blow it? Did we blow it? No, we did not blow it. You know, the last couple of videos I've been talking about generations, and especially Gen Z, because they're really coming to my mind. And through these reflections, I've really been seeing something. And it's like through the looking glass, okay? I'm seeing such a parallel between boomers and Gen Z. Crazy, huh? Here, let me take these off. There you go. What I've come to realize is that boomers and Gen Z, we're the bookends of what's going on right now. We're the boomers, but the silent generation, they're kind of disappearing pretty much. So we've got the boomers and we've got Gen Z. Now, in between, we've got Gen X and we've got the millennials, but we're the bookends and we're so similar, and I'm going to show you why. I've heard Gen Z say, boomers ruined everything, but this video is going to change everything. I'm going to show you why we did not ruin it, why our parents didn't ruin it, and how none of even the middle ruined it. We're just, the bookends are so similar. So stick around, okay? Watch it all the way to the end. It's going to be good all the way through. I've got some good nuggets for you, okay? Peace.
All right, subscribe to the Minivan Lee Show.
We're new members. Your airplane trip. There you go.
Okay, so how are the bookends? How are these bookends so similar? Well, financially with what's going on, we're so similar because the boomers are living in cars, and now Gen Zs are living in cars. Financially, we're just kind of a wreck. We've got the fixed income going on, and the Gen Z, they just don't have the experience yet to really be putting in some wealth into their bank account.
Roger.
Yes.
We're here in Seattle. You're living in this van, 83 years old. Tell me about it.
Well, it's not too bad. The one good side of it is I'm not paying any rent, and I got a little more money to go get a good meal and go to a movie once in a while. And I can pay my car insurance and buy gas for it. If I was paying $700 or $800 a month, I wouldn't be able to do that.
But this is no way to live.
I figure if I get really disabled, I can go to the Veterans Old Closer Home.
So you're a veteran?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been out here living in your van?
About 5 years.
5 years, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you have a good spirit about it.
Well, I make the best of the situation.
I've been saying that I'm not living in my car. No, I am. And the reason being, my last place was actually making me sick. My landlord, who I share a wall with, had a sewage flood, and I don't think the plumber could get there for a couple days, and ever since then my health just was not the same. Now if my landlord or anyone like on that property is seeing this, it's probably because of my low immune system. I just react to things that people normally don't react to, but it was still making me sick. So I gave my notice and I left, and I've been in my car ever since. I feel so much healthier now. It's been really nice. But being in my car has its challenges, particularly food. Like right now, I'm eating a fry from Del Taco because like I can't afford to eat a full meal out. I'm working on getting one of those little gas-powered little mini portable stoves from REI, and then I'm gonna heat up soup and stuff like that. So I have a plan. I shower at Planet Fitness, where I also plan to start working out to strengthen my body. And like I get to save so much money now. And it's also like I just can't afford $1,000 a month for a room to rent in someone's home when they have animals that make me sick because of asthma, or they have mold and they don't take care of it, or they smoke, and like I can't be around that stuff. So being in my car kind of gives me the safety of not having environmental exposures, but then also comes with its own downsides of, you know, everything like shower.
Now the bookends were so similar because we were very idealistic. Another way that we're so similar is, and it has to do with financially, is in the 60s, we wanted to chuck away the establishment. We wanted to do things our way. We wanted to change things. Well, isn't that the way that the Gen Zs are doing it now? They want to be more creative. They don't want to just go with the established rules. They don't want to just work 9 to 5 and that's going to be their life all the way through.
I never wanted to work, so I decided to live in my 2015 Honda Civic, and this is my getting up in the morning routine. So the sounds of the birds singing wake me up, and the first thing I do is open up the sunroof to get some natural sunlight in, do a little morning stretch to get that blood flowing. Now I have to clear the cockpit because I store all my belongings on the driver's seat while I'm sleeping.
Awful person. Maybe, but I'm rich and so it doesn't really matter.
They want to experience things, and that is so similar to what the 60s were all about. We wanted to experience things. We wanted to switch things up. We wanted to change things. We wanted to see, we were seeing life differently. And I think that's what Gen Z is doing right now. They see things differently. They're questioning things. We were questioning, they're questioning. We got both people questioning what the establishment is all about and how can we live our life just a little bit more creatively and more colorfully. And I'm going to say we have a little bit more rebellious spirits within us. So we've got the boomers, we've got the Gen X, we've got the millennials, and we've got this Gen Z. They're basically like from 20 to maybe 25, 28. Yeah, those are the Gen Zs. Turns out boomers and Gen Zs are like mullets. Business in the front, party in the back, and totally confusing for everybody in the middle. So here's to exploring that connection. Let's begin. You know, you had the boomers back in the 60s. And some of them were actually traveling around living in their VW buses. Well, remember the station wagons back then? Oh, yeah. I mean, people really could. I don't see a station wagon anymore. You know, they really need to bring station wagons back, right? That'd be pretty cool. I do like the minivan though. I love the minivan. We're like the middle child of the van life, the minivan. You got the big RVs, you got the small cars. We're just right in the middle. The minivan, yeah. Well, and then you've got Gen Z. They already know about this lifestyle. It's kind of it's pretty much mainstream now. Anybody who hasn't heard about it, well, you probably are hearing about it now. I do have a lot of new viewers that really have never really heard about this lifestyle till now. I sort of scooted into your feed, and you're very much intrigued with it all. I can tell with your comments. So if you're brand new and you've never really heard about this, please leave in comments. And let me know, leave in comments what you think, okay? And please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, okay? Thanks. It really does help me. It really does. And the Gen Zs, they're jumping right into it. If they can't afford rent, they've heard about this lifestyle, and this is what they're going to do. And I think that's a really great resilience. The boomers and the Gen Z, the bookends. We're the bookends. Okay, so what's up with this generational labeling, and who's making the timelines on this? Is there somebody appointed for this job that they're going to put the names on it? Because already now we've got Gen Z, but already back here they're waiting on, and they've already named it Gen Alpha. Huh? That doesn't even roll off the tongue very well. Gen Alpha. Let's start with this group here, the front end of the bookend. It goes from 1946 all the way to 1964. What's up with that? Seriously? That's almost 20 years. One generation is 20 years worth. I don't think they should. I mean, why were we called boomers? Do you remember? I know most of you do. But if you're younger, you might know boomers. What's boomers, you know? Okay, boomer. You know, I hated that phrase. Well, it's because we were the baby boomers. After World War II, when all the men came home from fighting, the ones that did come home, they had their wives waiting for them, their women. A lot of those soldiers got married right before they just met the person. And they were just in love. And back then, you did get married before you know, had sex. They got married, and then when they came home, they didn't even know this person, but they started having babies. Babies were being born. Oh my gosh, the most babies being born in the United States happened during that time. They called the baby boom. And there were houses being built for them. I think that was the beginning of the track house building. Well, those are baby boomers, but 20 years really did baffle a lot of the sociologists right now and the psychologists. It really baffled them. So what they did, you know, more recently is they divided them up. You got the front end baby boomers, and then I guess you got the back end. That's the best they could do, is how they named it, the front end and the back end, right? Well, I am from the front end. I'm at the very tail end of the front end, right? Now, my sister was born, you know, right after World War II. So she's at the front end. I just barely made it to the back of the front end, okay? But then you have this, like, 54 to 64, this 10 years. Seriously, they should be called something else. So what they should do is these other generations here, the newer ones, it should be elongated. You know, why are they going like, it's almost like every 6 years, they're going to come up with a new name. It's a little bit helter-skelter with all of this. Yeah. But there is a Gen Alpha, they say, coming up, okay? So with my children, I have an X, and then I have 3 millennials over here. Yeah, in the middle. Yeah. And then my grandchildren are Z's. They're Z's. Or does it go this way? Yeah, the Z's, yeah. We are really similar. I mean, we've got the peace out. The hippies were holding signs, and they were, you know, being creative, and they didn't want to work, you know, like 8 hours a day. And then you've got the Z's, who are now holding signs up too, trying to make changes. We were environmentally, we really were instrumental in environment. Remember Rachel Carlson's Silent Spring? That was groundbreaking on what the chemicals were doing to our waterways. And then we've got the Z's over here who are holding up signs and trying to make a difference. I don't know what side of the if you're blue or red or whatever, but really, I mean, we do want to still be concerned about the environment. We don't want to just be throwing out chemicals and chemtrails raining down us from the sky and things like that. So they're concerned about that. There really is a big similarity between these two. So let me know in comments what you think. Now we're going to talk just a little bit more about generation, because I've got a treat for y'all. I've got a book out. I've been working on this for years, okay? I've got a book out. It's called The Blame Game. Oh my gosh. When parenting goes on trial. Now, I'm going to talk tomorrow. I'm going to do a full video about this. So do not miss this, because this is concerning for all of us. The bookends and the middle, okay? Because this affects all of us when parenting goes on trial. I do know that I'll just give you a little bit of heads up on this, and then I want to leave, the link for it if you want to get a head start on this. It'll be on Unlimited, it's on Kindle, and it's on paperback. So just go to Amazon.com or Amazon, your app, type it in, Minivan Lee, and it will come up, okay? But I'm going to leave the link in comments and in the description. So, okay. Now, the thing is, do you remember when you were growing up like I did? Your generation ruined everything. You blew it. Oops, nope. No. That's a fallacy, okay? So when I was growing up, sure, it's like, but it really hits around 40, because the grown children, right, they start having issues with adulthood. They've got children, or maybe the children are about to go. They've got teenagers in their house. And 40s are a very confusing passage time of age, okay? I went through it. I'm sure you went through it, to where you really had issues so what happens is you really do start blaming the parents. And when we were growing up, come on, everybody, if you're a boomer and you were growing up, did you run to your parents? And at that age, your parents are now senior citizens. Did you run to them and complain and say, Mom, we need to talk, or Dad, we need to talk? And it's usually the mom. Mom, we need to talk about this. Why did you do this to me? Well, okay. Most of us didn't do that. We just held it in. And then as we got older, we realized, well, I'm glad we didn't, because now we're of that age and we understand, but what's happening with the middle group, the X and the millennials, what's happening is that now they're using phrases like childhood trauma. And, you were not emotionally available for me, right? All of these psychological therapy phrases are being thrown out. And what's happening is this middle group is going to this group, the front end of the bookend, and saying, we need to talk about this. Well, so this book is written for everybody, but especially for the boomers, for the seniors, because I'm just going to, one clue, there's so much in there, it's crazy. So you need to really get this. This is a groundbreaking book, because there are a lot of people who are talking about this. I did some research on it, and there's a lot of this going on that wasn't going on before. And what this book is about is to instruct the seniors and the boomers and the grown children how this is affecting everything. And one thing I will mention is that as senior citizens, this is not good for our health. We cannot spend all that time here raising children, spending our youth doing it, right? I mean, we did. And then at the end, we have to spend our senior years feeling guilty and shame about every little thing that didn't go right here. Of course it didn't go right. Of course, we were at this age. We didn't know what we were doing. And I guarantee you, this over here now, they don't know what they're doing either. And so if they want to play that, as they get older, are they going to be in the hot seat? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I say, get this book, see what it's all about, see if this talks to you, because I'm sure it will. And let me know in comments what you think. My next video is going to address this. The blame game. When parenting goes on trial, it's an issue and we need to confront it for everybody's sake so we can all get along better, okay? Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I love you guys. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And the book, The Blame Game. Check it out. We're going to talk about this, okay? Leave in comments what you think about all of this stuff I talked about. The bookends, yeah. The hippie. What do you think about that? Tell me some of your experiences. Did you go see Easy Rider? How did you feel about your parents at that time when you were boomers? And Gen Z, I hope you're watching because we love you. We really do. We're alike, okay? Okay, till next time, everybody. Love you. Mwah. Peace out, everybody.